Right, hello again. We're at the Metropole Hotel in Brighton at the Develop Conference, and I have with me here Nils-Holger Henning, who is the CCO of Bigpoint. Nils, please, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and Bigpoint?
Maybe very short. I'm Nils-Holger Henning. I'm the CCO. The C in the middle stands for Communication of Bigpoint. I was building up as a Chief Commercial Officer the marketing, business development, so all the commercial sides of the company. We managed to scale the business quite fast. So from 2006 when I joined, and it was more a garage size company, to a company that employs right now close to 500 people globally, in Hamburg, in Berlin, in Malta, in San Francisco, and it's growing right now with more than 200 open positions.
That's amazing growth, Nils. I understand that some major companies have been investing in Bigpoint in the last 2 years.
That's right. We realized, in fact, Bigpoint was a German phenomenon until the middle of 2007, and we realized that we want to expand, that we want to be an international player. Right now we are one of the biggest online gaming companies in the world, definitely market leader in Europe, and we realized we also need to make a big change in the management to live this philosophy of being an international player, and therefore we were also changing our investors, who were formerly purely German, and we got NBC Universal with a Peacock fund on board, what's one of the biggest American media groups, and another investor is GMT Communication Partners, a British media fund, and they own together 70% of the company, so they have the majority inside of the company.
Very good. So tell me a little bit more about what a Chief Commercial Officer does and how you came to be working at Bigpoint yourself.
A Chief Commercial Officer, what I did in the beginning, I was building up all the media partnerships. What's one of the key strengths of Bigpoint. We were the first company that was working on a high scale with all broadcasters around the world. So if you go to companies like Bertelsmann, RTL in Germany, M6 in France, MTV networks from Viacom in the UK, all over Europe in fact. If you go to companies like USA Networks, to Sci-Fi, wherever you go and you go to the gaming section, you find our games. This is something I was building. I was helping the marketing to scale the business. Right now I switched to the communication side of the company, so I'm running the PR, I'm running the whole event management, all the communication that's going out of the company, on trade fairs, on congresses like this one over here, conferences. I'm speaking on panels, and I'm in charge on the public affairs side that becomes more and more important with the size of the internet, with the size of the company, to talk to political institutions, parties, to the governments, the European Union, that we have still a free liberal market in the internet.
And with close to 500 staff, Bigpoint must be a great place to work.
I believe so. I would, if you would ask me right now, and I would give you the very honest answer, I believe we make the best parties for our employees. This could be one driver. But I think in general the working atmosphere is great, because it's a fast-moving company. You can make career, of course, like in compared not so many other places, because the basement is growing so fast. There are plenty of opportunities to work in different countries, to work at home. We have flexible working times, so people can really estimate their personal life to their work, and it's of course a very creative young atmosphere to work in.
And places like Hamburg and Berlin, and you've got a development office in San Francisco. These must be great places to live as well as to work.
That's right. If you would ask right now in Germany, I believe Hamburg is a very beautiful city, directly with a huge harbor, with many lakes, with a lot of green, and you have a lot of choices for your leisure time, from sailing to all kite surfing, whatever you want. You're very close to the sea, a little bit like London and Brighton, but the way is much faster, because there's not so much traffic jam. On the other hand, take a place like Berlin. It's a very attractive city right now, therefore we are building up Berlin more and more. You have a very creative scene over there, you have a fashion scene. Berlin is kind of what you found in New York in the 80s, where a lot of people from all over moved over there because you have special scenes where you can go out and other things. And San Francisco, of course, it's the hub and close to the Silicon Valley, and everything that's moving right now in the internet has mostly the roots in the valley.
Very good. And finally, Nils, what advice would you give a job seeker looking to apply for a job with Bigpoint?
To get a job in our company, first of all, I think the most important thing is creativity, and of course you must have the ability to achieve something, and also to touch new ground, because what we saw inside of the company is very often that you're not only fixed to a very small limited space of working. You will see a lot of different areas, how games are created, how games are advertised. All of this together, the company is developing so fast, and then you must be very flexible, very creative, and very open for a new adventure.
Very good. Nils-Holger Henning, Chief Communication Officer of Bigpoint, thank you very much.
You're welcome.